Hold on, folks.
Maybe I'm bound to wander from one place to the next. Heaven knows why.
As you can see, I got a bike behind me. I got Mr. Grant riding with OSJ today. We're in the wilds of New Hampshire, and I believe I got him connected. Are we there, Mr. Grant?
I'm here, James.
Oh, there he is.
I'm here.
Beautiful.
I'd like to add that we're skirting rainstorms today.
We are.
If
you can see, I don't think I have internet, but I do have my radar on my phone. We had a big blob that we went around, and I think I'm successfully navigating us. My expert navigational skills have come into play today. Richie did not trust me this morning when I told him my plan. So, Richie, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Am I the only guy that I could be riding at a nice pace I'm very happy with, but if I see a motorcycle way up ahead, I'll automatically speed up just to catch up to him?
Well, I can tell you there's at least one guy that does the same thing. That's me.
There we go. So, I want to ask you a question about motorcycles.
Okay.
We saw a nice older Concours 1000 back there, and I mentioned.
I love those bikes.
Me too. I've owned 3 of those in my lifetime.
How many miles did you put on those 3, do you think?
The very first one I had an 86. I bought new in 88, and I put 130,000 miles on it.
130,000 miles on a Kawasaki Concours.
Yeah. I bought that on a whim on my birthday. It was a leftover in the summer of 88, and I planned on doing a huge trip out to Michigan, Wisconsin, the Midwest. All right, we're staying on 31. And then I took that bike and I did a 2.5-week trip. And when I got back, I had almost 10,000 miles on it.
Wow.
But that's
Those bikes are great. I mean, I tell you, 7-gallon gas tank.
Yep.
They're a little top heavy, I think, and a little bit tall.
They are.
But you know what? If I had purchased the Katana in 1989, that was my next choice for a bike. And I actually considered trading the Katana for a Concours, just for the bags.
Yep. Oh, a little bumpy. I had an 86, and then I bought a 2001, which was what they called the Smurf edition. It was a real weird color blue.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that one very long. That was a couple of years. That's when I had kids. And maybe put 10,000 miles on it. And then a few years later, I bought an 05. I bought that one in 03. I bought that one in 05. And that's when I knew you. Did I? Or at least it was when I was involved with the New England Riders, so I'm not sure if I knew you, but I had.
No, you didn't have it by the time I met you.
All right, because I had the multi-strata at the same time, and I put like 40,000 miles on that thing. Oh, a couple more potatoes. Here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I give him a nice wave on the way by. Because this guy's going really slow. Yep. Oh my God, you see this guy?
Yep. It's because he's busy looking at us in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, we're going.
Wishing he was on a motorcycle. Nah, I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah. You're clear. There's nobody coming.
Famous last words.
I know, that's usually something you don't want to tell. They always let people do what they need to do at their time. You got a passing zone up ahead too, and it's clear as can be.
Yeah, well, I'm on a curve here. So, here we go.
Hey, listen, I like older women. You know that.
That'll never make YouTube.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah. Hey, listen, it's my thing that's being recorded too. So, I just got some.
Oh, you got leverage on me now.
I do, yeah.
Oh my God.
As you can see, I'm putting my gloves on. It's a little chilly up here in New Hampshire.
Well, I feel the rain.
There's no rain.
I'm telling you, we're on the edge of rain. I can feel it in the air. I can smell it.
We've skirted it, baby.
I'm telling you.
Jimmy has. I've gotten you past the blob, Rich.
Okay.
And now we're gonna do the old. We're gonna do the old switcheroo. So this is how, folks. This is how it worked. Yeah, baby. America. You see that flag? That's fucking America right there. You know, we need more of that.
What's that?
Hang a flag. Celebrate our country. How great we are. That. All right, we can't get on that topic.
Yeah, we can't get on that topic.
Yeah.
You can't say that on YouTube.
Yeah,
You can't say what a fucking great country. It's too controversial.
No kidding, huh?
Can you imagine?
How
Can
fucking
you
sad
fucking
is that?
Imagine?
You got a stop sign.
Ooh, I know.
Rolling stop. Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Keep them doggies rolling.
So we brought up the Concours because when I see a Concours, I say cult bike. And I think about the people that have them. And then we kind of talked about it a little bit, then we got distracted, and then we decided to turn it on and do a little vlog about it. So, and I think you and I might have a different opinion on what the definition of cult bike is.
Yes.
But to me, a cult bike, number one, has to be something that's not made anymore. And it's got to be something that people are freaking passionate about, like really, really passionate about. And the Concours, the early Concours, that 1000, now they do still make a Concours, but the 1400.
Right.
And I really don't think I don't think the old 1000 Concours people transferred over to the 1400 Concours people. I think they created a new group of people that ride the 1400.
You know what? I would agree with you.
Yeah.
I would agree with you, but mainly because most of the guys that rode the C10s, yeah,
Yep.
they're too old to fold their knees up on the C14s. It wasn't a sport bike. It
Right.
wasn't the kind of thing that 17, 18-year-olds were getting on.
Well, it's funny.
You had to be in your 30s or late 30s, kind of early 40s,
Yep.
to be riding a sport touring bike because that bike was really made for distance. No, it wasn't made. It would, with the right rider on it. Of course, you can say that about any bike. You could tear up back roads on the freaking thing, no question about it. Sport touring.
Yeah.
I think most of the guys that rode that were older, maybe ex-sport bike guys that wanted something that was still fast, was a little bit more practical for the long weekends and stuff like that.
Yeah. It had the Ninja 900 motor, so at the time it was high performance. But it had a big, huge fairing that kept you dry, and it had luggage, hard luggage that you could store all your shit. And you kind of sat upright. So when I bought that in '88, the first one, I was 21 years old. Everybody I rode with were guys that were 21, and they were on Ninja 900s and FC 600s. And when I bought that, all my motorcycle friends, they all thought I was an old man. They laughed at me. So to me, like, I think that if I had the first bike, if somebody said name a cult bike, boom, Concours 1000 or the C10. First thing I would think of as a cult bike.
Yeah,
So,
see, and I look at it as I think there's a difference between a cult bike and a bike with a huge following. I don't think that a huge following makes it a cult bike. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you there.
I kind of, so like I was saying before, a Norton Manx is
Yep.
a freaking cult bike.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I think, for me, part of the cult label, this is Newport, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
Part of the cult label means that it's not widely known.
Because I would say Norton is a cult manufacturer. Like, because the Norton Manx is a very rare bird, obviously. But Nortons, there's not a lot of Nortons out there, period. I think a Norton guy,
Well, there's more Nortons out there. And there's more Nortons, and it was a Norton, and then there was another Vincent.
Oh yeah, well that's
another cult bike. And here's the thing: there are a lot more of those than you know about, and that's kind of what makes it cult, right?
Yes.
Because they all keep that information to themselves. They get together in their own little groups. We were up at what was it? some ski area up there in Vermont. I can't remember the name of it, but we were up there. We just pulled in, and there were motorcycles everywhere. But it was a Vincent and Norton get together.
Oh, that's cool.
There was a guy there that rode a Vincent. Oh, what was a Vincent? Was it a Black Shadow?
Yeah, they had Black Shadows.
He rode a Black Shadow from California to the freaking Vermont. A Scutney, that's the name of it.
Yeah.
A Scutney Mountain. They have a big freaking get together. He rode a Vincent Black Shadow. That kind of distance. Now that's a cult guy.
Right.
But the contemporary one that I would say maybe matches your description of cult rather than like a Kawasaki Concourse, I would say like a Buell Ulysses.
Yep. Because
they have very dedicated, loyal followers, but not a lot. And I would say that, I would say that probably too many people. Here's the thing: Kawasaki Concourse, in my book, all right. And who the fuck am I? I already told you I'm a schmuck on a motorcycle, right? But my thought on it is that where you say it's got to be not made anymore, I'll say that they need to be relatively rare and a small number of acolytes. And I don't think the Kawasaki Concourse, I think it's got way too many people that have owned them and liked them, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you're right. So then if you're using that definition, then the Concourse doesn't fit because there's a million of them out there.
Right.
And the Buell, I agree with.
I would say it's got a huge following.
It does, yes. And they're very. I'm gonna go buy this guy.
Yep.
And again, when you bring up the Ulysses, I would lump all the Buells in there.
Yeah. I was gonna say Buells in general.
Yeah.
But I think the Ulysses might have been one of the better sellers of the Buells.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Eric Buell! You know what I always say about
I
Eric
know.
Buell?
I can't wait to hear you say it again.
Eric Buell, answering engineering questions that have never been asked.
Isn't that the definition of a true engineer, though?
Well, yeah. Listen, I got no... Listen, that guy was one of the most, or is one of the most innovative motorcycle designers probably that's ever lived. I think he's right up there with John Britton.
Yeah.
Okay? But here's the thing. John Britton never expected to make money.
Right. And he only made race bikes, so
that's what I'm saying. Eric Buell, as creative and inventive an engineer as he is, had his head up his asshole when he came to thinking that it was going to sell to him.
Well, I disagree. Or I don't know if I disagree, but here's what the answer to why Buell went out of business 3 times is because, very simple, they sold them in the wrong spot. They sold them in Harley dealers. And the guys who walk into Harley dealers are not looking for a Buell. They should have sold Buells in Ducati dealers or Triumph dealers or the odd, not in Japanese motorcycle, because those guys didn't want Buells either. But that was the problem with Buell. They were tucked in the corner in a Harley dealer. The Harley dealers were almost like they were forced to have to carry them. They gave them no promotion. It was like an afterthought. If they tried to market those in a European dealership, I think they'd still be around today.
Yeah, I don't.
But I'm just a schmuck on a Triumph, right?
You're another schmuck on a motorcycle.
Well, yeah, exactly. So, but we do agree that a Buell, I would consider the Buell a cult bike.
Yep. Okay, good.
Yep,
so
I agree with that.
And I would also say...
But go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, but I would just qualify to say the manufacturer. That's a cult manufacturer. Like Kawasaki Concours, Kawasaki makes a billion different, they make a whole bunch of different bikes, a dozen different bikes. But the only Kawasaki I would consider a cult bike would be the Concours. Where Buell and Norton, I would consider any Buell and Norton a
Yeah.
cult bike.
Well, see, and I would consider, you say the Concourse, I would consider the Concourse has a huge following, but the Kawasaki that I would say is a cult bike is the H2, the original two-stroke H2.
Oh, good one.
That's a cult freaking bike.
Yep.
Now, you don't find a lot of people on the road riding motorcycles that even would recognize one of those, right?
Yeah, although those are the hot bikes right now in the vintage Japanese.
Yeah, I'm just talking about how many guys are into vintage. I mean, listen, I know that you look at that stuff,
Yeah.
but I love riding motorcycles. I've never looked at the vintage stuff.
Oh shit! What route number is that? 132 maybe? Which is used to be. It's a really nice twisty road. I don't know.
Hold on. I gotta do a New England Riders curve.
There you go.
Hang on. How's my position? My body position? I want to play like I'm doing 140 miles an hour, but I'm not.
Oh, this is YouTube gold, baby.
Yeah, anyway.
YouTube gold.
Yeah.
Here's some YouTube gold for you.
Ah!
What's up, Richard?